What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to GmiasWorld, and right now we're going to be talking about the most feared promo. The entire promo has been leaked, but it's technically not leaked. I think this is EA's attempt to kind of counterattack the other leaks that are being put out by third-party people that are obviously giving us all the information early. We love those guys, but now EA is like, yo, I'm about to call your bluff, bro. I'm about to put it out earlier. So it's going to probably be a competition and who can get it out faster. But they did leak it all out. So everything is there right now for the most feared. And we're going to go over the top players that you need right now. Okay, so this will be dropping part 1 this coming Thursday in 2 days. I want to go over exactly, what you're going to need and how we're going to go about it. Now, as far as the strategy cards and things like that, remember what I told you guys about the way that the speed is going to work. We don't know exactly what players are going to be doing what, all right? We do know that they gave Mike Evans one of the fastest speeds we've seen in a very long time. So although, he only played for the Bucks, that 90 speed is going to be crazy. And I think the promo card, and let's take a look at this real quick, because they don't tell us exactly what's going to happen, but they let us know that it's 30 components, right? So most feared chemistry, depending on what they, give, and then you also have the night players. These can be a way to get, speed boost, acceleration boost, and things like that. So that's going to be very important for us to take a look at as we get closer to the promo. But I just wanted to point out how fast he is, because he's actually Randy Moss's speed, and he's 6'5". So obviously he's going to be able to spin and do all that other good stuff. So I want to make sure that you guys are aware of that. Now, as far as like double me, many of you guys have brought that up, right? Yo, G, they didn't give us any double me's. The unstoppable players didn't get double me like they did last year. What's going on with double me? Well, if you guys don't know about double me as an ability is pretty much broken, all right? And it was broken last year too, which is why I was running around with OBJ, Moss, and dudes and quadruple coverage. It was real crazy, all right? So with the way that this is set up right now, all of these guys get basic type of abilities and basic X factors. All right. So when we're talking about must-have players, it depends on your scheme. For me, you guys know I'm throwing a streak, right? Like you play G, I'm throwing a streak. So that's already self-explanatory. However you guys play, you may have to start using route tech. All right. I'm going to explain to you guys why that's important in a second. But Mike Evans is probably going to be one of those players because of his highly rated speed that most of you guys are going to go after. Now, some of you guys have brought to my attention, Henry, who is like one of the top MCS players right now. He was talking about the fact that players like Mike Evans or Calvin Johnson that only played for one team should get all 32 team chems. Well, if you're an ultimate team player, that doesn't make any sense. And that's why they give them boosted numbers. All right, because if they were to give guys like Mike Evans all 32 team chems, it'll be kind of a cheat code. You know what I'm saying? So they just boost his speed. Or like Calvin Johnson, they gave him 88 speed. Cam Newton, they gave him 88 speed as a quarterback, because they know most players are not going to have those teams as theme teams, as opposed to like Niner players or other players that have possible theme teams. They're going to give them lower speed so that when they get the boost, it kind of evens out. That's always been the system of Ultimate Team. And I've been playing Ultimate Team since like Madden 10, when people didn't even know it was in the game. So that's just something that they've always done. Before like the whole creation of theme teams, they always try to create balance with the players that only played for one or two teams. So I just wanted to make sure you guys are clear with that, because you were asking my opinion. And like I said, I see what his viewpoint is. I see Henry's viewpoint is just the fact of, if you played for one or two teams, EA is not going to give you all 32, but they'll boost the stats. And you'll notice that as we go throughout the lineup, right? So now with Brian Dawkins, okay, you'll notice right now, okay, with this guy right here, he's going to be a wild card, all right? First of all, I think he played for the Eagles and the Broncos. So you got two, teams that he can play for that's going to be wild, all right? Now, because of his defensive position as a strong safety and him being undersized, you have to be careful how you use him. Because in this Madden, you're going to get mossed whether you like it or not. You're getting mossed. Like, don't worry about it. If it's one-on-one, there's a very high chance that somebody throws it up, they're going to catch it, and it's going to make you rage. Like, it's very, very, like, dude, it's obvious that it's going to happen. So, I don't like his height, but I do like the fact that he's 93 speed, with the boost and everything else that comes with it. So that's something that you guys are going to have to go ahead and maintain as you go through, all right? Is he a must-have? I don't really think so. As far as like, definitely having, unless you run like a dime or a nickel and you're going to take that chance. You could probably user him too. I think he gets like, I think he gets pick artist. So we could check that and see, because that might help you out as well. Let's just double check that. Oh, he doesn't get pick artist. Really? Okay, so he doesn't get... Okay, so this is bad. This is actually bad. I thought he got pick artist. So maybe you can use him and he gets a deep out zone KO and you leave him in the middle and maybe you get a knockout. But I'm just letting you guys know, based on the way that the game plays, you're probably still going to get mossed uncontrollably. All right, so these two players, out of these two limiteds, I would say Mike Evans with the boosted speed is a must-have. Now, another player that I've been eyeing and many of you guys have been asking about is Sauce Gardner. Why? Because he's 6'3", big body, and ready to rock and roll. Now, the only problem with him is he played for the Jets. Like, he actively plays for the worst team in the National Football League. So there's not going to be a lot of people running around with a Jets theme team unless they don't care about themselves. So you have to evaluate that and say to yourself, should I get this guy? Because he's a 90 overall. He's probably going to be a set player. So you'll be able to get him no problem. The issue is he's 89 speed. That's it. And he's 6'3". So which way do you want to go with it? Do you actually want to utilize this guy at a, remember, Randy Moss is going to be 93 speed, possibly 94 with the boost of the strat card. Do you want an 89 speed corner out there? That's up to you. So for those of you guys that are asking about Sauce, remember, theme team is very, very critical in Madden 26, even more than ever. So just be very, very careful with that. Myles Garrett, he's probably going to be somebody that we're going to take a look at, simply because of the fact that we can play him at D tackle, and I believe he gets the outrageous stack. So if you guys haven't watched the video where I talked about the stack, John B spoke about this stack like maybe a month ago, double or nothing, buy one get one free at El Toro. Because he gets it and he's a 90 overall, and we know that he has the weight to play D tackle, he may be somebody that can replace a Lawrence Taylor or someone like that for you guys on your squad and try to get sheds. Do I believe completely in the whole shed thing? No, because I've tried it and sometimes they just get blocked just like everybody else because the game is very random. So I just want to make sure I'm clear with that as well. All right, Randy Moss we're going to go into in another video. Because you guys have been asking particular questions about him because he's a 90 overall. I thought he was going to be a limited. EA didn't do that. So we're going to talk about that in another video. But he's definitely going to be a must-have player. Because like I said to you guys before, he's going to be, 93 speed. And with the strat card, he's probably going to be 94. Depending on how they do it with the most feared. And you can see that his actual archetype is a spectral threat, which I don't know what that means. And EA probably just said, look, I'm just going to make up something. But that could be something very, very dominant in the game. So just, keep a lookout for that as you guys go along. And then we have, finally, people are asking about Derrick Henry. Obviously the Ravens suck right now. They're not going anywhere. If you guys watch my podcast, GmiasWorld podcast is available on iTunes, iHeartRadio. Just search it. I already declared that their season was over like 2 weeks ago. So it doesn't really matter. Now, as far as like trucking and juking, I still have not seen consistency with those type of things. It's all about the juke, Gibbs and stuff like that. So this guy is probably not going to be somebody that's going to be OP. And those are pretty much the players right now that we know of. We know that there's been other leaks, Lamar Jackson, etc., that hasn't been put into the catalog, but we're going to get to those cards as we get closer to the release. I want to thank you guys and girls for watching. You have a blessed day, and I'm going to see you guys and girls next time. One love, y'all.